everybody to our presentation. We are the technical support team of Northwind Trader located in Boston. Our staff include Chen Wang, Stephanie, and me, Chi Lam. Northwind Trader is the international food distributor that sells dairy product, beverages, condiment, and products to small specialty shop. They use Microsoft Access to maintain North database, to maintain the inventories, orders, and the accounting and customer information. As part of the technical support team, we are responsible for troubleshooting and software support for our clients. We have a couple of assignments, old assignment, and we have a couple of new assignments that we do for Northwind Trader. The first assignment that we do is to update the query to report sales of confessions between January and March of 2012. We also do perform a filter to the report so it will only contain sales of confessions. When we first opened the database, it had no result. So what we did is we investigated and we found out that they have an incorrect range of date. So we correct that to the correct range of date, which is from January 1st, 2012 to March 31st, 2012. And when we run the query, we have the correct result. And then we created a report based on that, and it contained a lot of different categories. So we did a filter for that, and we only after that then we got result containing only 2 confessions. Next, we have a project that we have to modify the query to contain order from only May of 2012. So what we did, we opened up the database, and we see that we have result that is beyond May of 2012. So we investigated that, and we found out that they have an incorrect range of date, which is after May of 2012. We corrected that to the correct range of date, which is between May. Too fast.
You want me to go back?
Yeah. So we corrected that to only contain data from May 1st, 2012 to May 31st, 2012 of beverages and confessions. So once we have that, then we have the correct data. Second part of that, we have to modify the query to include only beverage sales and sort that in order by ship country.
Oh.
When we run that, we have no result. So then we investigated. They have misspelled beverages, so we corrected that, and we also put in a function to sort the order by ship country. And there we go. We have that. Project number 3, we have to determine the revenue from each order in the last years. So this is the query in design view in the relationship tables. Next we put in a new field which calculate the revenues. And this is the last column that we did, that we just put in the new field that calculate the total revenues. Next, in the same project, we also summarize the revenue figure by category, product category, and this is the revenues query. All right, so let me take a look here. So what we did is we looked up the revenue, and we summed the revenues field, and we averaged the discount field. And this is the group, and this is the screen that we have afterward. And this is the new asset project that we have for this company. This company wants us to make a chart so they could evaluate the performance of each salesperson. So what we did, we created a pivot table and a pivot chart showing the performance. This is what we get. We sum up all the revenue that is made by a specific salesperson and categorize it by the month. including the table, and we created a pivot chart based on that data. Next, what we have is we created a query that have a macro checking for error. The error, the checking is to check for anytime that the product cost is more than the unit cost. Next. And we use macro for that. When we do that, we do a conditional statement saying that if the product cost is more than the unit cost, then we will raise an error saying that the product cost is more than the unit cost. And this is the box that this is the warning box that we have when we push that. We also created a summary page showing the sum of the revenue based on the category, and we also calculated the average based on the percentage based on the total revenue in respect to the category. Next, we have process 6, presented by Stephanie.
I'm Stephanie. I'll be talking about the update, appending, make table, and delete query from the data. As you can see, we had to click the update button for the update query all instances of the UK and the United Kingdom. Yeah. We had to make a table and scan the van order table with the record from Sweden. And we had the update query obtain record from Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. And we had to delete the query from Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. And access 6 is the end result of, and then the order table contained the only form Sweden, Norway, and Denmark.
And then Jane.
Okay, as access program is volatile, it can be exported to many different applications, such as Office and other like PDF formats. This is an example of using Access to export the database to Excel, which is useful for extended calculations, which Access doesn't have. And also we can export to Word document. It makes, it looks more readable, okay? And also it can be exported to another Access database, which is part of another Access database for queries and reports. And also, this is a PDF. Also, sometimes PDF is very useful for to keep the data the same, which cannot be changed by other persons. So PDF file is for maybe for core documents or something. It's more firm data. So this must be all of the. Oh, okay. I thought that was Access, so I've already done Access. So basically, that's all the format they can be transferred to. Okay.
Okay, so next we have project number 8, that we created a table. In the table, we have button that will apply the filtering using macro, and we also created a report using user input, created a table with user input using SQL. So, as you see in this report, there is a little button right here, 1 to 6, and then have an X. Those, when you press on those buttons, it will apply a filters, and the X will clear all the filters. Next, what we did is we do it using macro to apply the filters. Whereas button number 1 have a condition where the employee ID is equal to 1. When we click that, Then we have filtered the record, so we're only showing 123 record out of the 860 record that we have. Well, how we set up the X button to release all the filters, we use a query, and we use the command show all record, and we click that, we are back to 860 record. Next, we have we set up a report using a SQL. Why we do that? Sometimes we just don't want to create another query to do the same thing. So what we did is we use this command select. This is the field where we enter the country that we want. So when we run this report, we are asked to enter a country. When we do Germany, then we will only show record from Germany. So in the previous assignment, we have do a couple of things. We have fixed error. We have some inquiry data from a specific date, sorted, filtered the result, and added the calculated field. We also included projects that we did a pivot table, pivot chart, do an exception checking with macro, make a summary, export to other Office files and PDF. We also use macros and SQL programming to set up a database and filter record. Microsoft Access and database provide us with a powerful tool for data management and analysis, and therefore it can increase the productivity in the workplace. Thank you. Any questions?
Very good job, guys. Very well done. Excellent, excellent job.